Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video again, and finally back with my chart haul for February 2K16, showing you my favorite records, CDs and all that good stuff in terms of music I liked in this month. And as usual, you can find the link to the chart post on my website, nightstyles.de, in the description box below. Starting off with something different and very limited is Sascha Müller's 8K Techno Volume 2 as a limited to 24 pieces floppy release, which is very rare, and I don't even have a floppy drive to play that, but Sascha was so kind to send me the files. What to expect on this one is hard banging techno on one track and more like hardcore house on the other one. And due to the limited data rate, which is only like 8 kilobit per second, both tracks sound like you're in the bathtub with your head underwater and someone playing like loud music in the bathroom or in the room next to the bathroom. So this is pretty underground stuff and a kind of fun aesthetics, but I think this is a nice one to add, and also a format you don't see that often. So 3.5-inch floppy disk releases, 8K Techno Volume 2 by Sascha Müller, first one to show. Next one is a CD, Keda Wal or H-Wall or whatever, on Parenthesis Records. Quite an interesting piece that has been produced by the producer Matthias Del Planck, which also has recently released his album Drachen on Ici d'Allure, and the Korean geomongo player, which is a traditional Korean instrument, I guess, with this more like a harp or a dulcimer kind of, but in Korean, and the Korean player is called Eo Jung-ju, which I think I totally fucked up in terms of pronunciation. And the project Keda is aiming to fuse the traditional sound of the geomongo with more modern electronic sounds. We have all kinds of things here, like ambient, dubby stuff, more glitchy ritual music, but very interesting. Next one is Quintas K, which is a release on the label that is run by the Music Information Center in Lithuania, which is his home country. Also electronic, electroacoustics, experimental electronics, and a producer I didn't have on my map, and I didn't have Lithuania on my map anyway in terms of electronic music and experimental stuff, but this is definitely one to check out. Quintas K, Message in a Bottle, as this album is called. Next one is a compilation by a German label, Agogo Music. Hits a Go-Go 1, various artists. This is how it looks like. And this is a 13-track piece, which is covering the spectrum of the label, which is more like Afro-funk, funky breaks, trip-hoppy, breakbeaty stuff with a lot of soul, and all includes tracks by Dalata, which most of you might know, my friend Renegades of Jazz, which has an album coming out on Agogo somewhere later in 2016, which is great, and I already heard that, and I wrote the release information for that album, so definitely check that out. Also on here is Hidden Jazz Quartet, Hype Fly Orchestra, More Horizons, Mob, Solar Rosa, and other stuff. Covers stuff from the Agogo Records back catalog, as well as unreleased tracks and mixes, so Hits Agogo 1 is one to go if you want the more funky, breaky, Afro-funk stuff in your life. The complete opposite is Sans Soleil by a Switzerland-based producer called Lärmheim, self-released CD album, which is more in the vein of rhythm industrial electronics, also super abstract breakcore and a little bit of ambient, very heavy stuff to listen to. So if you're into more brutal electronic noises, Lermheim Sans Soleil is one to go for. Final CD was a surprise for me. Die Strafe, Kronk, a CD release on the Major label, which is called Major label. It's from Eastern Germany, from Jena actually, and they are a label that puts out a wide range from audio plays to electro-punky stuff, and this actually, Die Strafe, is a proper punk rock band from a German town called Mönchengladbach. And they have like a proper street punk attitude, very German lyrics, and very enjoyable, very rough, not necessarily angry in terms of like fuck everything, no future angry like the punk people were, but kind of conscious, I'd say. Some songs are very like featuring social criticism and stuff, and also one song is dealing with the loss of someone to Alzheimer's, and this is a pretty interesting album, and I really enjoyed that, although I'm not a big punk rock head at all. So I have like only a few, maybe 10, max 15 punk rock records in my collection of like over like 5,000. So, but this is a pretty good one, and highly recommended to everyone who likes punk rock. This one you have seen already in an unboxing video, Opsion Mono Sound on God Records. I've unboxed this a few weeks ago, and this is pretty interesting stuff for all those loving ambient in the vein of producers like Slow Tech or Ice, which you have found on compilations like the Electric Label, Ladyland on Mill Plateau and all that. Pretty darkish stuff, really enjoyable, good solid 5 or 6 track vinyl. So highly recommended to all vinyl collectors. And so is this one, Jürgen Plog, Tapes from Unterwegs 1971 bis 1976. You have already seen that as well in an unboxing video, and this is like cut up vocal stuff, very dada and funny, and Jürgen Plog, as I've said before, is an author and also a pilot who has been traveling the world and documented that stuff on tape, like talking about what he sees and stuff, and doing field recordings, and all of these recordings have been rearranged on this album into 2 tracks of like 20 minutes length approximately, and highly collectible and enjoyable stuff on the Column Run label, 90% Wasser. And I will link both unboxing videos in the video description as well, so you can have a look at that. And the final one comes from Houston, Wheezy Missed Connections on Southern Bell Records, his own label, second release on the label since 2014, I think. And this is post-juke, brutal breakbeats, ghetto house, jungle stuff, kind of very high tempo, 160 BPM plus, I'd say. Highly enjoyable club music, but I think unfortunately nobody will play that in Germany, or only a few people, because Duke and all that is not that popular over here. And that's the last one, 9 records, or like 9 releases to show this time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you like to see more videos like this, follow me on Sue, on Twitter, on Tumblr, wherever you can find me, like except Facebook, you can find me there, but don't follow me there because I don't use it that much. And also listen to my DJ mixes on Mixcloud and some tracks of mine on SoundCloud as well, all links in the video description below. And watch out for more videos. I have found some pretty interesting chocolate pieces, I guess, so some taste tests are coming up, and more vinyl talk and wherever. So I'm gonna go into editing, and yeah, see you in the next video. See you later.